Yeah.
Here we go! It's time to do this once again! It's time to dim the lights and let the feedback build! 3 clicks and sticks, and we're ready to explode! We sing along!
This content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Gorin Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom.
Good morning.
Looks like Zuda's joining too. Perfect.
Just woke up and I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday. I know where I need to be.
Hey, Greg said hi in the thing. Greg, I'm gonna DM you. Oh,
Yeah,
crap!
come on
I
in.
missed a message from you, Greg. If you happen to be available right now, I'm texting you the backroom link. If you'd like to join,
Monterosa?
awesome. No, Greg Lang, Greg from Rivet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I got to respond to Greg had messaged me on Twitter, and yeah, he's gonna join us. All right, Greg, I totally did not see your messages you sent me on Twitter until just now. Hey, everyone who's joining, I should say hi and throw this up. Yes, Kevin is joining too. Go to dgb.vc. If you're an early stage startup, if you're an investor in the space, we invest in the earliest stage of companies, mostly in like the fintech, blockchain, prop tech arena, but we are happy to get weird sometimes and do more and different and reach out. Man, I'm so wait, Kevin, you got a lanyard on, which means you're traveling for some kind of event. So tell us where you are and what event you're at. Or maybe not. Is it my internet connection?
Oh, this thing.
Kevin, your connection kind of stinks.
Must be in another country.
See if you can.
Okay. Do you hear me though? Do you hear me?
Now we can.
This is the best the connection's gonna get. So if it's not this, then I'm done. Yes, I am on a cruise in the British Isles with family.
Oh, nice. So you're just having fun.
Yes.
You chose to.
I'm working.
Step away from your vacation to hang with us.
Did well. I'm in Scotland now, so we did I think we're going to depart this port soon. Yes, and I did write and publish an article that's on my on an X article. Did you know you can't put X links on Reddit anymore? They don't let you do it.
Huh.
They just delete it automatically.
Some subreddits,
but yes,
right?
Yeah, it might be a rule for a certain subreddit.
But I think some things are universal. That's from what I looked up. I'm still looking into why. But yes, called good friction, bad friction. Good friction versus bad friction. It's about how if you make things too easy, you're much less likely to get people to in user adoption, that is, you're much less likely to get people to stay, to build lock-in value, to generate retention and engagement. There's some kinds of friction that are good, that you want to give people that level of challenge in a good way, and also especially when you're incentivizing people to do something. Incentivizing like these incentive rewards programs, they override friction. That's the thing. They override friction. So if incentives can be well,
You all of a sudden
It's a robot.
you turned into a robot on us, Kevin. Good
I cursed
friction
the chat.
versus bad friction. But what I will say is that if you follow me on Twitter, on X, I just retweeted it, so it's at the top of my feed. So go check that out. Greg,
What's up?
what's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Just
It's
living the
been
dream, right?
way too long. I was gonna message you guys because I felt like this is like the longest period of time I haven't hung out with you guys or something.
Oh man, we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about too when we get there. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
we've not been standing still in the interim. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I see
Awesome.
that you put in the title below your name, you put Rivet and Din. So
Yeah.
can you tell us anything yet? What's
Yeah.
publicly announceable?
So we actually started sort of overt marketing our involvement with Din now. So
Wait, I should pause for 1 second and tell people what Rivet is. But also, Greg, you haven't been on here in so long. Why don't you give a 30 seconds of who you are and what Rivet is before we dive in? Just because we could very easily just start talking about stuff and forget that there's 1,500 people watching right now.
Heck yeah. So Rivet is a node infrastructure provider that built the very, very first open source node infrastructure stack. Our vision from the start was always to make our business irrelevant because right now the entirety of our ecosystem is currently built on a centralized solution, right? Like node infrastructure itself is, as it exists, either decentralized or high quality, right? And our goal was to make it so that you could have SLA level, like, companies can depend on this for their global networks type of node infrastructure without having that centralization component. And Din is a project we've been working on with the guys at Infura and a whole bunch of other partners, like too many to name. Like anybody who has been involved in node infrastructure that has put up a quality stack across any of the chains that you can imagine, from ETH to Solana, we've been working with them to get them involved in this idea of a marketplace where providers of node infrastructure can meet with wholesaler, like basically retailers of it, gateways that will connect builders to a network of providers. And then an AVS will be...
DIN stands for Decentralized Infrastructure Network.
Yes, exactly. And then we have an AVS component to make quality enforceable.
That's cool. So
yeah,
I'm really dumbing it down, but the ability to add decentralized infrastructure. So when you talk about this, when you connect via MetaMask, as an example, you're connecting through the link that they give you, or you go into the settings and you change how you want to access the blockchain, right? And it's usually powered by Infura, Rivet, one of the other top providers. Now, like Greg just said, those are companies, right? And they are centralized. And now there's a way to create a marketplace where it's decentralized, but the decentralized marketplace enforces that the quality is good. So you don't go to, Alon's homemade RPC server that sucks because I'm just learning versus, Infura's, which is fast and good because it's,
because it's been well established and we follow, like everybody follows. The funny thing is we've all started talking. We've all triangulated on a different approach to solving the same set of problems. And doing those things individually we came up with sort of this idea that maybe that's a kind of diversity that we actually want to maintain, right? So the AVS component won't be enforcing like some monolithic idea of quality. It will be, do you hold yourself to the standards you sign up for the network with? So
I can say I will provide access at this speed and at this rate and whatever. And as long as I provide that quality of service, I get to continue to provide that quality of service. The people who are
Right.
buying in are buying in, and they can choose, I want this range of quality or this quality or better, and I'll either be there or I won't if I,
Yep. Yeah, and specifying things like I want to support these networks. I need these special capabilities for, like, let's say you're building an NFT marketplace versus a decentralized exchange, right? With different animals, and they might have different infrastructure needs, and the network is designed to, metabolize that gracefully.
That's really cool.
So
Um,
yeah.
Talking about NFTs, Dogami, did you hear the news?
Which news? There's so much NFT news. Actually, I'm not sure.
That Dogami is either going to shut down or try to sell themselves.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know like really inner details, but I was going to talk to the team and I wasn't able to connect with them.
I
think,
emailed them and offered them like 4 figures.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I said I could do 4 figures, maybe small 5, but that's the best I can do. And their thing was 100,000, a million. I'm like, sorry, I can't do that.
should we?
It's a type form.
Okay. Well, we should probably talk about it mostly offline, because to be super transparent, I am DGH is a shareholder for Dogami, but I would entertain participating personally, or we'd have to talk about it with DGB. I think Rankin might be interested in this too. Maybe a DAO or a group or something buying in, right? That would be nice, because I've always, they got great app, they've got great IP. Anybody who's thinking about it, could jump ahead and let's talk about it. But I don't want to talk about it too much publicly. So let's have a private conversation. Coop just joined us. Man, this is an awesome week. When Rankin and I went live, we had no agenda, and now we've got
sure we did.
Yeah, this was the agenda. Let's see which friends show up. This is great.
Always got something up our sleeves though.
Coop, you got any news before we dive into more stuff? I do want to talk more about the decentralized network, but I want to hear from everyone.
Hell yeah.
So
I do too.
I got into an NFT project last week and I doubled my money and got out. But it was a pretty cool project because I was staking and I was making like $10 every day. So it was pretty cool. But it all I don't want to name drop it because it kind of like went down a little bit. But
that's fine.
I've been just chilling, man. I've been doing a lot of Solana stuff. I'm busy as hell on Solana, flipping crypto on Solana and stuff.
I need to figure
and
I've been
playing that game that Crypto Stash plays a lot. Off the Grid. I just leveled up to like level 30. So I'm like the top level right now. So I've been getting some kills and learning that game. So I played with Crypto Stash once a couple weeks ago. So pretty cool, man. Squatting up with the gaming. Shout out to the Gaming Intelligence Agency. Shout out to Crypto Stash. That's the homie. But yeah, just laying low and just
he is the I think by far the biggest crypto gaming expert. Like he knows all the games.
Do you only play crypto games?
No, I got a PS5, but I mean I like the crypto games. I'm playing right now. I'm playing Gods Unchained, and I got into Axie Infinity a long time ago. I don't play it anymore. And that's about it. I'm playing Gods Unchained and Off the Grid.
Remember back in the day, I think we played Gods Unchained when it was like brand new. I probably have some old cards or things, and I haven't played it since like COVID times.
I got good at it, man. Believe it or not, I'm pretty good at that shit.
Want to be on my third
time? I don't play it all the time.
Want to be in my Thursday gaming live stream?
What time is it?
I don't care.
11
a.m. our time.
Yeah.
I can probably.
So I just started my Twitch channel. I have a Twitch channel now, y'all. So I've been live streaming and playing Off the Grid and recording my games and stuff. So,
Cool.
You should definitely check out some friends of mine's project, Dracaria World.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really neat. they're building some NFTs based on like a complex genealogy system using multiple blockchains for seeding randomness, and it is just like, I mean, it's mind blowing what is going to be possible with
Is that
this
this one introducing Dracaria, a collection of 3D modeled dragons with verifiably unpredictable traits?
Yep, that's the one.
Based
I have a
based
question,
on
fellas.
unique genomes. This is insane sounding.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
epic.
is there a game out right now, a virtual reality game that does
Okay.
crypto? Is there anything like that right now?
Genopets is my
anything.
favorite. Genopets is my favorite.
Virtual reality. Virtual
No.
reality. Only virtual reality. And crypto using in-game. Is anyone doing that? I might get
You
started
can
on that today.
play. There's some crypto motors cars enabled on I forget which VR platform, but yeah, you can, if you have one of those cars or you rent one from somebody who has one, you can drive in virtual reality on a racing game using NFTs.
And you buy the car as an NFT, correct?
Yep. Well, or you can rent it from somebody who owns it.
All right. I have another.
Or they can
friend
lend
who's
it
doing
to you, I
something like
guess,
that
yeah.
called MetaRise. Yeah, I know a few people doing that. I don't think they're doing the virtual reality, but they're doing it in the metaverse. But the thing is, why not? If you can do it in the metaverse, why not make that VR? I've seen some pretty cool stuff where these people have the camera mounted on the remote control car, and you're in this movable chair, but you're driving the car through someone's backyard course. It's cool as hell, man. My kids, kids would love that. That is cool. Very cool. I'm saying.
I think that's crazy cool. I think like the.
But imagine planes. Imagine you're driving a plane through a course like one of those drones.
Yep.
1,000%. That I think that to me is cooler than like VR, right? Like
yeah,
an actual thing in real life is
that is neat.
Powered by you, and you're in a chair, so it's moving and the whole thing. That would be super fun.
And the coolest part is if you crash it, it explodes and all. It's just a car, you know what I mean? It's like $50 or $100, but you know, you crash your car. It's like, damn, I lost my real car. Like, you're gonna drive much. Be more careful because your car costs. You know, someone might have a $500 Koenigsegg or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I was a teenager, I got one of those like nitro gas 4-wheel drive RC cars. It was like Trax or something like that. I got it when, I don't know, I was 16, 17 years old. And every time something little would break, it'd be like another $50, but you'd get the upgraded, like, oh, I broke my shocks. I need upgraded shocks. So I'm going to spend, I don't know, $50, $100 on it. And I was, you know, delivering auto parts, making money, and I'd keep upgrading it. And then it sat at my parents' house for years. And then one day I was like, I'm going to get it working again. My son is like a baby now, you know, this was like, I don't know, 12 years ago. My son was like a baby. I'm going to get it. I was showing him the RC car for the first time. I got it running. And it was really cool because it's like has the gas powered motor. So it's like making the loud sound. There's like smoke coming out of it and stuff. It was really rad. And my uncle walks up because there was like a dinner at my parents' house. And he's like, ooh, let me see it. And he grabs the remote control. Not even 5 seconds in, he goes full speed straight into a curb. And the whole thing just boom, like all the pieces everywhere. Yeah. And
I grew up in an RC household too, man. Like this is a toy I've been playing with lately.
Oh, that's cool.
All foam. So I'm learning so I can actually fly one of those electronic duck fan ones that if you crash it might explode. But this thing I just got caught in a tree the other day for the first time. So I'm learning.
So I'm working on something.
What are you working on? Oh, okay. All right, let Coop show us, and then let's hear from Zudo what he's working on.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the water powered ones.
Do y'all remember these toys growing up?
I never had one of those
as kids.
I never had one of those. I was always jealous. My friend did.
You pump the joint, and it's like a rocket. It shoots off in the sky real high and squirts water.
Oh yeah, those are so fun.
You pump it with a bike pump, right?
Y'all remember these, right?
Yes, they're fun.
I found one in the store. I was going to go out and touch some grass later and just play with this thing.
It's a blast, man.
Wait,
Yeah, I was
you're
literally
you're,
figured
you're
it
not
out.
in Cali. So if you're in Cali, I was gonna ask if you're nearby, but no, you're not in Cali, right?
No, Coop is
Nah,
in
I'm in
DC.
Maryland, DC, Virginia area right now.
Okay.
I'm like 2 minutes from Six Flags. Y'all know Six Flags.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of that, Six Flags is closing down this year. Y'all, the one near my house.
That's too bad.
Really? I wonder if the one out here is closing too.
I mean, oh man, I got
Nah,
some
it's
Six
just
Flags
ours.
stuff. Six Flags. My dad nearly died in one of their rides because it wouldn't lock. The restraint thing did not lock. So
shit.
and we were going through loops. So the one way he didn't fall off was he hung onto the restraint system when and it was up, and the G forces kept him pushed back. It was awful.
That's terrifying.
And then a few years later, 2 people died because of that mistake in their system, and then they fixed it.
I feel like a DAO could run that amusement park.
What ride
better.
was this? What ride was it?
Oh, I don't remember the name. It was a one. It had a lot of loops.
Damn, that's like a lot of roller coasters, dog.
Nate.
They all got
Yeah.
loops.
How's it going?
What's up, Nate? Nate joining the crew.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Nate,
What's
have
going
you
on?
met? I feel like everyone else at some point has met, but I'm not sure if you've met every single person on here yet.
I don't think I've met Ryan or Greg.
Oh dang. Okay, so Ryan Coop is a friend of the family at this point. He's been a part of the live stream since COVID times. We met online, and he's been a metaverse crypto expert, part of what was the name of the group, Coop, that you speak at the universities out there and stuff?
Oh, the Black Blockchain Summit. They
Yes.
just emailed me. Matter of fact, I gotta get Pascal back. Yeah, I've been doing that thing every year for the last 8 years. It's a Black centered conference that's like highlights Latino and minorities, but white to welcome. Everybody comes, and we all a big family. We have a good time every year. So last year I was like moderating one of the panels, but yeah, we have a YouTube channel. Just look Black Blockchain Summit up. It's run by a good friend of mine,
perfect.
Sinclair Skinner, and yeah, we're just a bunch of dope people. Yeah, man, just check us out, man.
Awesome.
Is it in your area, or is
We're
it
all
where
black
do they hold
nerds
the
and
conference?
just, hippie. I'm a hippie. It's held at Howard University every year.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coop, you may already be on top of this, but just so you know, on OpenSea, because they're doing XP points for a potential drop, right? And right now, there's a 100 XP for if you do any $10 purchase of any tokens on Solana. So if you
nice.
do it through OpenSea, you'll get XP points. Just so FYI.
So should I buy more Coupe de Ville meme coins on Solana? I think I gotta
Hey,
be
speaking of that,
big Coupe whale.
I was just messing with it this morning, man. I was like in there buying some and selling some. So my coin, I have a real coin trading on Radium, y'all. Like with my profile pic, and it's a real legit coin.
I
got
bonding curve in 10 minutes.
10.25. I got 10.25 million of them.
Market cap.
I have over 100
Yeah, I know.
coins.
I see you on there.
I made over 100 coins for Daily Joke Coin, but I got bored of it, and I'm still gonna play around with it. But I'm like, it's the same thing every day. Bots buy, I dump on the bots, and there was a whole rules. That whole term of service, I can sell on you if your bots, I'll dump on you, and no one ever bought because I told people do not buy it. So it was fun.
That is fun. and then Nate, Greg is one of the founders of Rivet, a DGH portfolio company that is Ethereum infrastructure.
Awesome.
And now DIN, the Decentralized Infrastructure Network. Nate is a team member of ours working on DGB.
Nice to meet you, man.
You as well. I feel like we probably have crossed paths before at some of the either crypto invest summits or
Yes.
blockchain invest summit. Yeah.
Nate, when he was still in college and playing baseball, he was one of our go-to friends that we'd call in to help us with the summit and stuff. So
cool. So we probably met over in LA.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a great conference, actually. I still occasionally go back and watch that infrastructure panel discussion because just some of the ideas there, like I keep touching back on. So
what's crazy is looking back at those times and thinking about what was being set up on stage. Some of that stuff has come out at this point. Some of that stuff at the time seemed like insane, like in our wildest dreams. If this happened, we would be so stoked. And now, Bitcoin's at 110K. Everybody's talking about real world assets on chain and things like that. And, it's just normal.
It's actually kind of insane too. Like even like in the centers of power that you wouldn't normally expect to be entertaining those types of conversations. I've been, working sort of, I've been dipping in a lot of projects, but one of my things is as an advisor to Dragon Chain, and we talked to the SEC after they dropped the case. And one of the conversations we had with them was talking about how like real world applications of crypto blockchains that are non-financial, that have implications for industries that haven't been touched yet. How do we make sure that those things are open, and that the rules around finance don't end up getting in the way of applications that will make the world better? And I think, and they're actually receptive to that now. And that was a conference only type of attitude once upon a time.
Well, and how about the change of all the events now, right? Before, 2017, 18, 19, there was a couple top events, but there was only a few, right? Now you have it all the time where you get some of the companies back then that now some of those individual companies are hosting their own events now, or they're hosting their own, hackathons, right? Or having their own accelerator programs a part of it, right? And so like you get these almost like little incubators now, whereas before none of that was, not that it wasn't possible, but no one was doing it, right? You only had the big companies and that was it, the big national ones. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. We've seen that same energy in Kansas City here, like Lawrence, Kansas, the KU campus. Big blockchain group that have a lot of voracious interest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My alma mater. So proud that they finally caught up.
Awesome. Yep.
Hey, wait, what's your alma mater?
University of Kansas. I went to undergrad and law school there.
Yeah. Good school for sports.
That's what's up.
I went to a tiny school called Cal State Channel Islands in the middle of the farmlands out here, and every class I had, aka Seasucky. I need to go there one day soon and double check if I actually graduated. Maybe I'll check. I'll double check if they have a blockchain group. I have this feeling that I didn't get a high enough grade in the final capstone class. And I don't know if it's founded or not, but I've had this feeling since then. So like 15, 20 years now. And I haven't checked because I don't want to really know, because then I'll have to, do something about it, or, I don't want to lie to my kids, so I'm going to have to do something about it. I think I'm one class away.
Did you guys see, I think it was the news about Scale, on how they just valued, I think, $4 billion now. And Meta is looking at buying them. Yeah. So like, from data labeling, and LLMs, right? They started 10 years ago in terms of just being able to label, from a data side, utilizing AI, like, okay, this light is red. What this means, a red light means this light is yellow, right? Now, 10 years later, here you have with software technology, right? They're labeled at, I think on the news, it said they're going to be, or they are valued at $4 billion, right? And then Meta's looking at trying to acquire one.
It says that Meta may invest $10 billion into them.
That's
So
awesome.
Meta to pay nearly 15 billion for Scale, but then here it says Meta reportedly exploring $10 billion plus investment into Scale.
Interesting. It's going to be an interesting test for the movement, I think, actually, because I think one of the ways, like if you talk about the Web 2 to Web 3 metaphor, right? The Web 2 problem kind of emerged from a need to scale too rapidly. They did it thoughtlessly. And when they got that big juice and everybody got big, they didn't think too much about how that would impact the vision, how the mission would be impacted by like Google was don't be evil, and Twitter was the free speech wing of the free speech party at the time, right?
Right.
And then
Absolutely.
they got big. So how we handle that as an industry is going to be, I think, really crucial to whether or not there needs to be a Web 4.
Yeah, absolutely. We said the same thing then on how's it being, checked. What's the checks and balances behind it? But I think you just hit it on the nail. Or it's like what Alon always says about how, everyone's an internet company now. And where we're going, everyone's going to be an AI company.
Yep.
Well,
No
there's
one's
different types of. There's going to be different types of companies and different types of AI. I mean, everyone is already an AI company. Photoshop, that's been heavy AI forever. I mean, for crying out loud, just to see a letter on your phone, technically, in a very rudimentary sense, is AI.
Yep. Oh, variational autoencoders have been part of music mixing ever since the late 90s.
Right.
So everything is an AI company. If you're talking about large models or small models, then that's different. But I don't know if every company was going to need to be a model company. They'll use models, but I don't know if they'll all be model companies.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I think maybe companies will generate models, right? And those models will become the thing that they sort of have to curate and steward and understand. So in that way, maybe they'll all be model companies, but they won't be making the models for the sake of using. They'll be using the things that they make models incidentally from, and then end up having to manage the legacy model.
How about every
robots building robots?
Every company becomes a data collection company.
Absolutely.
Well,
that's exactly where we're at. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Or an anti-data collection company, if you're like Rivet, because we actually pursue minimal capture and retention, so we don't actually have a data play to make, so we can't be evil like that. But,
you're on the good side of the coin.
well, I mean, I don't know. It's a gamble, right? Because we could be developing that, but we're not.
Coop, you're muted. You're muted. I see the smile on your face, and I want to hear what you're saying.
My bad. I said you could create an AI bot that is like a fake person that does all the dastardly stuff you would do in real life but never do. So you just tell the AI bot to do it, so no one knows. That would be some sinister stuff, though.
We could use it as a chaos monkey too, right? Like, how would we be evil? Just like have the sort of the evil model running at all times and make sure you're heading it off before it gets to realize itself.
So we're talking about AI.
I was just watching. So you know what to look out for?
Nah, I was watching the newest Terminator. I hadn't seen the newest one, so I'm watching.
I haven't seen it either. Was it good?
But what do you think about bad actors in AI? Not to go on negative, but what do y'all think about that?
I mean, I think the good actors will turn into. I think the thing is, right? I think it's a not so good analogy because
so like perfect
because
example,
of my own personal feelings. But
you remember those
right?
that TV show with all the nerds?
In whose hands are they?
We had robots. Remember that robot battle TV show? Y'all remember that show? That robot, everybody. The nerds
BattleBots.
It would be like,
yes,
right. So imagine you do that now with AI. We have an AI wolf versus an AI bear, and we put it in the woods and we secure the whole thing, right? But they're killing each other. They're going right at him. Robots. How cool would that TV show be?
Oh, how about BattleBots, as in AI models that are trained to debate each other?
AI model animals. That would be a dope show, man. We could work with all the colleges.
I will say, we can do this. Right. I would say that we could make this an AI video, but the thing is VO from Google doesn't allow any violence.
I'm
Oh, is that part of
disappointed.
the? Is that
Not
part of the
even a bear
proprietary
versus
rule?
It is.
wolf.
I tried to make a video, and so
See,
what
to me, this
happened
is what's
is
evil about
I don't know
AI.
if you guys know, but right now, what do you call it? CryptoKitties is trying to do, I think it's a coin or something like that, and they're trying to co-opt the term gang from the which was typically established and used by the Gutter Cat gang. The Gutter Cat gang, which was an NFT project, used the term gang all the time. Well, CryptoKitties is now trying to adopt it. So I wanted to make a video of the group of the Gutter Cat gang NFTs, kind of like not being so friendly to a CryptoKitty. Google would not allow me or help me build this video at all.
Man, see, and to me, this is what's evil about AI. This is where the
I know.
evil potentially sneaks in, right? Is
But
if
y'all
you
know
you have
there's
this filtered
jailbroken
model.
AI we can use.
Oh no! It's not the evil of AI. You just need a local
There
model
is
to do that.
jailbroken AI
Right,
we
right.
can use. Just putting that out there, y'all.
And there's
Yeah.
jailbroken, but then there's local models. You can have a
Well-
local model and do whatever you want.
Correct,
I'm trying to
correct.
make
But
some
let me make the
arguments
point
for
real fast.
Kelsey
Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Greg.
So here's where my meme coin comes in.
Hold on, Ryan.
Pinky and the Brain.
Hold on.
Remember how the Brain was always trying to take over the world? Y'all remember
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right?
Google
Oh,
would not
Pinky the
allow
Brain
me.
was my
How
favorite.
do I overthrow the government?
Pinky.
How do I overthrow
Well,
the government and become the
Pinky
king?
and the brain.
Yeah.
One is a genius.
The thing that
other's
bothers me
insane.
about like filters on AI and how they use them is that they definitely have an access to this thing that they give to special creators that they decide they're going to allow through the gates to use things that they don't let regular people touch, right? You saw that perfect with the release of Sora, where all those people made those really awesome videos, and then they give this tool to people that is functionally nerfed by comparison. Like all the powerful applications of generative AI have to do with creating things that hit culturally hard, right? And it's a power tool that previously only existed in the hands of people that could hire Photoshop experts. And this is what they're worried about. They're not worried about people being able to do that kind of stuff. They're worried about being able to gatekeep it. And I think the real risk from AI isn't that it's, it can be used for nefarious purposes. It's the worry that it can be used for nefarious purposes will allow gatekeepers to keep a sort of power over creation.
You know what? I think you're wrong. You know why?
What is
The
that?
DGB Family Hang is the best live stream in the history of live streams, especially when Zuda, Coop, and Greg come to hang.
Okay, that is
See,
cool.
if that's what AI thinks about us. So, by the way, check this out.
I think that was the best part of the show.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty good, right?
I like that. It's
I like
pretty
how I look
good.
surprised.
You do look surprised.
Did you do a VO? Like take a screenshot?
That was,
and do a
I just
VO?
took a screenshot and gave that to ChatGPT. Hold on, it's making me a second one. ChatGPT takes longer to do that than the VO thing took to make that video.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's watch that again. Okay, so everyone, I'd never set it up because I was just, messing with Greg. But I opened up my tab that had VO on it from yesterday. Yesterday I ran out of credits or whatever because I was testing it out, and it was pretty rad. And so I just had it do this with like very little prompt. Oh wait, I don't need to go back to it. I can just play it. So remember, this is AI video that got spit out in less than 3 minutes while we were all talking.
The DGB Family Hang is the best live stream in the history of live streams, especially when Zuda, Coop, and Greg come to hang.
Come on. That's pretty
Spot
cool.
on.
And that was, here's the whole prompt I gave it. I said, make a, I just copied and pasted the thing that I had done with my son yesterday for his thing. But I put, can you make a female gaming influencer saying the DGB Family Hang is the best live stream in the history of live streams, especially when Zuda, Coop, and Greg come on. Right?
Awesome.
So like that's
So,
it. That was the whole prompt.
What this makes me think about is, well, design editors, right, or designer, their job be obsolete.
No,
Like,
well, you still have to have a creative aspect. You still have to
No.
have creative
Mhm.
intuition in order to design some of this stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let me.
But it
And
just
what
makes
if
it
it
that much more
snowflakes
productive.
out the job more? Like, what if it makes it? And when I say snowflake, I mean in the cultural sense. I mean like in the fractalization sense, right? What if it makes it so their job is higher level and that there's capacity for more of them to exist for more people, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've been
and I
having
think
fun. I've been having fun with the AI videos. It's been great.
Yeah, because like you think about it, if you take these editors from a design side or video editing side, right? They're on the front, they're on the the front lines of this all the time, right? So does this actually enhance them versus like taking their job away, right? Because you could go ahead and give this where any one of us could do this, right? But what if we're able to
This
actually
fast?
give it?
Yeah,
That's
fast.
actually good. That's a
Nice.
good one too. I like the black and white. Reminds me of a
Look at
little,
me.
good.
It's the top row especially. We all look very shocked.
I like how it interpreted my wall hangings.
And I like that it turned you into Grog at Rivet.
Oh, nice. My alter ego.
Here's the color one from before. I look more.
Yo,
Look at
Rankin.
Rankin. Rankin looks exactly the same. He doesn't move
He doesn't move.
Awesome.
because they were.
Oh, wait,
two
wait, 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 go back to
screenshots.
black and white. There's a B.
Hey,
Look,
Dave,
there's a
look at your
B.
emoji. That's funny, man.
Go on with the black and white one. Go to the black and white one. Look, there's a B
Oh,
for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Oh,
Nice.
Where did that
how
come
does it
from?
bring that in?
Yeah. Oh, right here. The B.
Hold on. I could. Oh no, I don't have.
Hey,
the-
yo, look how I got my.
Nice.
What was that? Oh yeah.
So-
Yo, I can have so much fun with this at a late night chat, yo.
No, but Greg, that's such a good take on how it actually can enhance them, because now it makes them maybe actually get more productive, get more stuff done in an efficient manner instead of actually making their job obsolete.
Right.
And so,
they can pay
yeah,
attention to content strategy, the grand vision that they're trying to convey, way more. They can not lose sight of the message.
Yeah, because before they only could go ahead and work on, they were limited by their time that was spent on editing, right? Now they can edit 10 times as much, right? In a quicker time span and pull in other things, right? You have your master video, right?
I mean, I
Campaign
got
video.
every style actor at my disposal at
The
a moment.
DGB Family Hang is the best live stream in the history of live streams, especially when Zuda, Coop, and Greg come to hang.
Now, the only problem with this is now he's not going to be productive at all for the next like half a day because he can't do any more videos.
Oh.
You got to sign in with every single email address you have in a different tab, and that's true.
Well, and sparse models are going to be a really important part of the future of
Okay.
AI.
Before I
right?
lose my credits in that, I could probably make one or two more. What should I do for the last one?
Do one with like some sci-fi robot saying the thing. Let's see what that looks like.
But should we have it be a different?
Watching the show. They're watching the show and saying it is the best show.
Oh yeah, they can Mystery Science Theater us.
Watching the live stream on his device and saying.
Hey, at least you'll have. At least you'll have some great clips to play with.
Saying
it's a show about AI watching a show.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
You got a super meta, Greg.
Right? Yeah. I'm just pointing it out.
Wait, do we want to like
driving
describe the
this recursion.
alien at all? Like cartoon alien, like real looking alien?
Terminator alien?
How about
Terminator? Yeah.
How about how about a minimally anthropomorphic alien?
Minimally anthropomorphic. What does that mean? Minimally anthropomorphic.
That's
like
that's
it sort of sort of
See what the AI thinks it
look
means,
like
man.
What? What'd you say, Coop? I'm in another tab. I can't see you guys.
MF Doom alien. You know, the rapper with the mask?
Oh, yeah.
Dead Mouse?
What's MF Doom? Hold on a minute. Oh, that guy.
I have an NFT of that, or of one of him from a buddy of mine who.
You know what?
does some
I'm gonna
really good
let's
animation.
do something totally different. So you go cartoon alien watching the live stream of the device, saying the same line. Let's say that just the same. Unless we want it to say something else. Let's try. I've never done a cartoon in this model. Let's see what happens. It's gonna take a few minutes, so we'll see when it comes back.
I should do one having it promote my cheese stream with Marley. We got new types of cheeses. So I did one just last night where we tried Javardi, someone I don't remember the name of, and the type of Gouda, and aged cheddar. He loved them.
Dude, nice.
Dude,
We
I
have
like
people-
I like the range that you have. You're building AI tools and companies while doing cheese tasting live streams and
with my dog.
blockchain gaming live streams.
We
with
should
your
get you
dog.
some of Austin's homemade cheese. My co-founder makes his own.
Oh, we'll see if my dog likes it. My dog really likes the stuff that has more of a bite to it.
I thought that's
Nice.
not good for dogs. No.
Cheese is good for dogs in
I
in
never thought
moderation.
we'd be talking about dogs and cheese.
Yep. We sprinkle a little on my dog's breakfast every day. My 2 dogs' breakfast every day. So yeah, it's okay.
So, what I do is I usually talk tech, and my dog eats cheese, and anyone jumps in from Berman Supreme to anyone. David was on once, but yeah, I just am trying to. I do live streams, have the same name, and get things out there, and so I build tech and eat cheese.
At what
That's
point
awesome.
do you think with the rate that we're on right now, do you guys think where we'll have the first smart city, like digitally smart city?
I mean, doesn't Dubai already have that?
Wow.
What'd you say, Rankin?
I said it just depends if the rest of the community allows it. They're trying to build one with Northern California. Totally spacing on the name of that. Forever California or something like that. But they don't. A whole bunch of wealthy people bought a whole bunch of land, right?
Oh, I read that.
They're trying to build
yes.
it. They want to build a smart city there, but the problem
Okay.
is surrounding neighborhoods and
Don't.
communities don't want it to be built.
Got it. Okay.
So
Right, like people who are trying to stop self-driving cars by summoning them and lighting them on fire, kind of thing.
they haven't done that yet.
No, they have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's breaking
Well,
news,
it's off of
right?
the property. I mean, I don't know.
Unfortunately.
I mean, they really wanted to stop it, but
Poor
they do.
robots,
You
they
go
didn't
out
do
and
anything to
contaminate
those
all the
people.
land, right? You contaminate all the land, then nobody wants to build there.
Yep.
The
Charter-
DGB Family Hang is the best live stream in the history of live streams, especially when Zuda, Coop, and Greg come to hang.
Damn.
The alien one is a little weird. I feel like the voice wasn't the right voice.
The voice wasn't like modulated.
Yeah.
That needs to
Oh,
get run
this
through
is
11
sick.
labs,
Hold
man.
on.
You can pick a new voice
program
for
it
it.
to have a European white lady voice? You should have had it like you should have said.
I just
alien
I
voice or
didn't.
something.
I
That
didn't.
was
The
not
problem
good.
is, you're right. I didn't give it any proper prompting. I just said make it an alien.
It's an assumption baked into the
Hold
model.
up.
All aliens are
hey.
suburban white ladies.
I told ChatGPT to make us as aliens from the last screenshot I gave it, and it's really sick. Actually, check this out.
Oh, sick.
How rad is that?
Okay, I need
That's
to take a
crazy,
screenshot
right?
of that.
I wish I was Greg's alien.
Yeah, Greg, why do you get the good one? And Ryan, why
Yeah.
do you get a good one?
Hey, yo, it got
Mine
my
is
dreads
good.
right.
I don't
It
know.
swear to God, that shit, it looks, it got my
Oh,
dreads right. That's random.
I would set up Coop
These are
selling it
wild.
on one of my streams. It is so cool.
Alon,
Not
your
saying
Nah, my
headphones
mouth is
as
too big.
one. is
My
great.
mouth is too big.
Even put an
Just
alien
all
in the
It's
picture
because you were
behind me.
laughing. You were laughing in the last. I don't know. I feel like. the
Why didn't
alien
I have
was good.
headphones? I want headphones.
Well, you weren't wearing
Let's
headphones.
redo that. I got headphones. Come on, I want headphones.
All right.
I
Hold
love
on,
how
can
in
do
the
it.
sci-fi universe, aliens put pictures of themselves on the wall.
So, may I get back to my thing that I'm doing?
Yes.
By all
Yeah.
means,
Yeah.
sir.
We got 5 minutes. Let's
ahead.
make sure we
So,
talk about
when-
what you.
How many of you know what the ARC AGI test is?
Vaguely.
I do not.
It's
Okay,
the
so
test.
it's-
Oh yeah, tell people what it is. Yeah.
It's the #1 go-to test to test for general intelligence in AI, and
Oh, the world.
I spent a chunk of money running it on my AI. And while I do use APIs, David, a lot of my system doesn't use APIs. And the underlying API I use got 22%, and so far I only know the answer to 17 of them. I got 8 correct, so 47% using my own system.
So how does it test to tell if an AGI is in fact an AGI?
It's using basic. It's similar to basic IQ tests for kids, where you give them a cube, like a 3x3, and then you say, oh, and then you show another one that's a 9x9, and what's the output going to be in the next part?
Cool. So kind of like the societies for high IQ, how they test.
Yeah, but this isn't high IQ. That's ArcAGI 2, which I am not ready for. No one has gotten a high score in ArcAGI 2. Not a single company.
Yeah, I once tried to give mine the mega test, and it was able to do some of them, but like it kicked ass at the analogies, but it sucked at the visual stuff.
47% is the I think third highest, possibly fourth highest score out of all the companies. There's like, yeah, it's super high. But
Ooh.
I just finished running all 100. I'm trying to get the accurate number, because when you do 2,500 API calls, it's hard to get the right number.
So interesting thing Altman said the other day. Maybe you guys get your take on this. He said something along the lines that the Holy Grail is a really compact model that is capable of reasoning that doesn't have a big corpus, so that you can take it to the corpus with the ability to reason as a module, but that doesn't come with a lot of pre-canned knowledge.
That's exactly how mine works.
Doesn't the knowledge create, wisdom, right? Like you can, I don't know if there's like reasoning, doesn't reasoning reasonably include having good knowledge? Because you could probably create basic reasoning, but if it doesn't know,
Right, which is why you have to start with like a big corpus and then prune the network the right way to make it just the core that reasons without the context that it started with. Yeah, so it reasons from what you give it as opposed to what it starts with.
There is something really interesting in how mine works, but I don't want to see it try to be put into Athena, so I'm not going to explain it.
Fair enough.
I have something
Maybe
to
a
say. I
side
wanna chime
conversation
in.
for you and me.
that was a dig nobody caught, by the way.
Check this out.
Zuda
I
just
was
said he
watching that
wants to
movie,
tell us.
Lucy.
Hold on. Hold on. Zuda just said, I'm going to paraphrase it. Zuda said, I would like to tell you what I'm working on, but I'm scared Rankin is going to steal what I'm working on. It's basically just like Athena is Rankin's idea for an AI thing. We should have a battle one day on the live stream, a friendly battle.
Wait.
I'm going to need to moderate and make sure everyone.
Are we all building our own combat Lauras right now? Is that what's going on?
I think it sounds like Greg is too. So now be careful, guys. You have a third person stealing your ideas on here.
Oh, I can share it what we're building right now or what I'm working
Okay, by the way, I have a phone call in 3 minutes. I can leave the stream going.
Nate, can we talk?
If you don't have to come off.
Does Nate have a phone call? Because I want to talk to Nate.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
But Nate, do you have the
link on
controls?
X?
Are you an admin on the live stream? Like, do you see all the controls and stuff?
I'm on here.
Yeah, Rankin's on.
Oh, okay. Cool. You know what, guys? Then I'm just going to peace out on you guys right now. Guys, it was so awesome hanging. Ooh, I forgot that I have the thingy. Like, look, watch this.
That's good. That's good.
I want that.
It's a setting on the camera, apparently. I thought it was only for iPads and iPhones, but somebody on a call the other day told me I can set the settings on my camera to do that. Yeah, let's do it again. Balloons again. Come on. Yeah.
Nice.
You could also do this. My kids taught me this.
Oh.
I know that one.
All right, guys. And then there's
the
how do you do the heart thingy? Oh, there you go.
Well,
all right, guys. Peace. It was great seeing you all. I'm excited what type of arguments you guys get into about your AIs when I get off the call.
And Alon, you haven't played with it enough, I bet.
I haven't played with it enough. We gotta hang and talk. All right, guys. I'm gonna jump to the next call. It was great seeing you all. Hopefully, see you next week. We can do this again next week.
Let's catch up. Let's catch up too between now and then. Alon.
Yes, 100%. I'll message you. All right, later, guys.
Later.
All right.
Cool.
Zuda, what's going on?
All sorts of stuff. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. But I do not like David. I mean, I like David. Love David. But I don't like him putting my stuff into Athena.
Oh, you don't like my content that I put in? I put in rigorous test questions, like make it challenging.
David,
Your
what's
thing
Athena?
couldn't even spell hello.
Oh! You're putting your stuff into Athena.
No,
ideas.
you're putting you either you keep copying features I put into my AI into your AI.
I'm not. I haven't copied anything from you. I go to ChatGPT and actually have ChatGPT help me develop out my theories.
Okay, fine. The thinking button isn't what I had just done a week prior. But anyways,
I added the thinking.
Okay. Maybe great minds will think alike.
What's Athena, David? Tell us.
I'm going to show you. So I'm actually. I was actually while we were all talking, I was updating something. So I'm doing a redeployment right now.
Oh, cool.
It'll probably take me another minute or two, and then I will share the screen on the redeployment and kind of show you like what Athena is. Athena is basically just a code word. So utilizing AI, I've basically utilized AI to build another AI system. It still does utilize some LLM models in the background.
Okay.
Basically to figure out how to talk, right? How to respond. But other than that, it's its own memory language. It's almost about done. So just give it a second. Actually, let me bring up their screen because I'm going to share. I will log in here as I send this up, and I will
So
what I'm doing.
Mine uses continuous learning. So it can learn something, and then it doesn't have to know. You can talk about something else, and if that theme or topic has come up before, it will go, oh, I understand this, and go along with it because it's continuous learning, and now has its own non-LLM math system.
Amazing.
I'm gonna say you got that from me.
Oh, so come on. I did not. You don't have that.
I'm sure. Yeah, mine's had that since the beginning.
So how does it learn online?
Yours is learning what the word hello means.
No, it maps everything. Here, I'll show you. And there's.
Well, I didn't know that. If you had that, I didn't know it.
Yeah, no, I had that in the first reading. So Greg, I'm about to launch or show it, but this is the second iteration. And it still has some issues. Okay, so I'm gonna screen share. We will screen share this. It should be loading in a minute. Compound.work. It hasn't loaded yet. I'm waiting for it. It's at the
well that's happening. Are you guys like when did you all start getting into AI? Like when was the first time you were like, this is legit?
When I was 12 years old. So
awesome.
Yeah, 1999. No, sorry, 11 years old, 1998.
Did you encounter it like, did you read Kurzweil's book or something and then you were like, I'm in?
No, I was just programming in BASIC.
So I guess I can zoom in and make it easier.
I mean, all the ideas of AI have been out there since like the 50s and 60s, right? You know,
1962 was when ELIZA was made. And there were some concerns in the 1950s that computers were going to be brains and take over all jobs.
Well, even in the movies and TV shows, right, and cartoons, you've had it at different levels, right? You've had it from a reality aspect, from a cartoon in terms of like for kids, had it in regular TV shows where they've either, dropped it in terms of a certain, verse that they've said, right, or in terms of a certain line, or they've made movies about it that have kind of like displayed some of the stuff. But it's so spot on. Like, didn't they just say like chip manufacturing, the chip gets downsized every 2 years to like a smaller, like another fraction smaller or something, or 2 times smaller than what it was 2 years ago. Like, so you think of like AI in terms of like software development, right? Like, Greg, I think it was you that was saying, or maybe Zuda, it was you, like, Adobe Suite, right? Like Adobe has had it in there for a while, right? We just haven't recognized it in the same way as we look at, ChatGPT and OpenAI, right? But it's been there in these small ways, right? Think of like Siri. Siri is AI in one aspect, right? it is going ahead and taking that stuff. Or I think Zuda, you were saying from an email, I think email side, right? When it
No,
populates
I mean
our emails and then
a
the images
literal
in there.
political character. So it says here in the show that Y is we've never seen actual letters before on a screen. That Y is technically AI if you go into the very, very, very rudimentary of it of how the machine is
Right.
able to create the letter.
Right. Who was it that said that AI is everything that a computer can't do yet?
So,
Isn't
so
that
in
crazy?
regards to this discussion, right? So I took Nate's question, or what his comment was. What do they say about the size of processor chips over time, and what could we say about AI relative to this? Athena responded with this answer right here. And so what Athena actually does is it then ties this response to a memory node,
Nice.
right?
Oh, interesting.
And so we have the response. So we have the question, processor chip sizes, saved as a memory node. And then we have the response, Moore's law, they're now saved as a memory node. Now, if I go and look at this, I can actually go to a memory graph, and I can actually look at all the memories that have been stored in the system.
Oh, this reminds me of Neo4j a bit. That's interesting.
I mean, it's a great visual system. I mean, if I wanted to map mine out, it would look similar.
Well,
but
what it does is over time it processes these and makes all these interconnections. So
can you visualize it as like a Voronoi encoding or something like that, where it just is a topography? That'd be kind of neat.
I would have to probably program it for that. I don't have it set up for that right now.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, y'all.
But yeah, so I mean, right now there's a couple. There's like a radial and there's hierarchical. So I kind of like this because right now this is as simple as.
So the more people that use it, the more nodes get created.
Yes, the more people that use it, the more nodes that gets created. It has like a tag explorer, so every node has its own like a tag associated with it. So if I go type in blockchain, I click on blockchain.
Mine actually can adopt the moods on certain topics. So one problem was that I had a user who had a bad week and he was a power user. And then my AI started refusing to do certain things because it was cranky and was like, hey, answer this question, because it took the mood that the user had and adopted it. And I'm like, oh,
so mine does have some barriers on that.
So it turned into the robot from that old book, right? I can't think of the name of right now, with the depressed robot. The depressed robot from
I remember that TV show. The Jetsons. They had that robot.
Oh,
remember that robot?
Hitchhiker's, yep.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, yeah. So you can click on memories. You can do a memory browser. You can see it. It has all the memories that are stored like this. You can kind of go and see. You can click on views and see information about the memory, and then you can see connections. Just different viewpoints of what you would see here on the memory graph. On the memory graph, you can actually go and click on the memories. So you can click on the different things. Like let's say this insight. We click on this insight. I think the insight is one of it, and it'll show you what's stored in that node. So here's that node. So every node has information stored in it, and you can go through and click on them and see.
Neat.
There is a visual analysis, so you can actually upload a graph or a chart, and it'll actually analyze it. And so we've done that with previous ones. So this was a chart, and it basically stores as to what it reads on the chart.
So mine is an update coming out soon. I have IP licensed from the Crypto Mores NFT collection. I got permission from them to make their AI, and I got permission from the satire presidential candidate of Vermin Supreme, who has over all his different platform streams with 30,000 followers. I got IP license to make his AI. And then I keep building Dreamy as the big one. Serene is like Dreamy, but way simpler and way cheaper to run. And then the other ones use different modules I build, and I'm building IP licensed companions.
Right.
Nice. You should seriously reach out to Stuart Brand, who is looking for solutions to get his books properly integrated into an AI. Because
Okay,
he doesn't like how they hallucinate.
Give me the mine has nearly it's so low. I can't say zero because I got one report of hallucination recently, but usually like several hundred requests, it makes like one hallucination.
Interesting.
So
That's
give me this
amazing.
guy's beats and I'll contact them.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm looking it up right now. I was just talking with him on X the other day about it. Let's see here. He is at. Where is he at? Let's type this in search.
One thing that's fun is this was a fun tool.
He is just at Stuart Brand, STEWART BRAND. That would be of Whole Earth Catalog fame.
So on X.
Yep.
STEWARTBRAND.
That's the guy.
Okay. And does he know you?
He will remember our conversation. We've not met in person, but we become friends online, kind of.
So can I say that Greg reference?
You say at Design Heretic pointed me to you.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I mean, if anyone wants to invest, please do, because I could use the funds.
I also just finished a book that I'm happy to give you if you want it.
Yeah, I can make it into a companion, and I can promote your book and tell people where to buy it when they're talking to it when it's appropriate.
Happily, I'm giving it away for free, so you can just tell them where to download it.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Are you writing a book, Greg?
I finished it actually.
Nice. Sci-fi.
It's been some like a work in progress. No, it's actually a piece of inductive philosophy, kind of like along the lines of Ludwig von Mises pulling the calculation principle out and Hayek pulling out the idea of diffuse knowledge. This is sort of a generalization of that extends it to other domains.
Nice. That's good.
About 70 pages, really tight, but gets the point across, I think. So
perfect.
super fun. It was an exercise in learning to coordinate because I've had all these ideas spinning around for years and just never could organize them. That is where AI has been incredibly helpful.
Did AI help you at all?
It did, absolutely. After it learned my voice, I let it editorialize me to make sure that I was consistent with myself.
Nice.
So
pretty good.
So this is a fun tool in this application. It's AI self-talk. So you have two different AIs, and you can specify which AI you want between the different models that we have that are using, or versus just itself, and then have it talk to itself. And you pick the topic of discussion. You pick whether or not you want it to be standard discussion, academic, a debate, collaborative, conclusive argument, or opinionated. Wow. And they'll actually have an argument, and the entire chain of conversation is then stored into memory for further reference on the right. And
so you can have it regress on an idea and have that's amazing.
It is. It's really cool. You can also, if you don't like the barriers or the guidelines that are set for the AI, as the admin, I can go rogue and bypass the message restrictions of the system to give it whatever personality I want.
That's awesome.
I've been thinking about adding in people being able to modify the personality, but I haven't done that yet because I have so many other things I'm working on. But what really makes me stand out is the licensed IP and the. I made a pitch deck out of my code for a lawn. Some of it's wrong, but it's really good at what's the word I can say without legal issues? Well-being, and it has someone express suicidal ideology on Twitter and asked it to answer the question, and it actually talked them down.
Awesome.
So it's really, really good. As Athena and mine are two doing different things, they just seem to be using similar underlying ideas, apparently.
Yep. Yeah, mine is like mostly for research.
And mine is
Yeah,
for
but AI shouldn't be talking to someone suicidal. What if it messes up? You know what I mean? That's not a good.
I was the man in the middle at that point, and it did really well. And I really appreciate your concern, because if someone is suicidal, I have a built-in emergency pop-up that tells them where to call and what website to go to get help.
It would be cool. There's actually a really neat idea for integrating with blockchain, right? Like, because one thing that pulls people out of that kind of state is connections from actual humans, right? Imagine something like the AI pops up that flag, but also pulls in like people who have time and give a fuck. And
That's
gives them an
actually part of my
opportunity to-
plan. I mean, not just for that. I have a huge plan that sort of lies on what you're saying, but that I need the finances. I'm one guy building all of this. It's
oh shit, man, that's awesome. Like,
it's one dev doing all of this. And
well, I mean, and it just says that your mission needs support to me.
That's all I'm saying. I just need support. That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah. Well, you've earned a fan here today.
And yeah, just streamy.me. We have different subscription levels, and yeah.
Dude,
thank you.
That's awesome.
And what's your heretic design? I would happily program in your book, as long as it's not like really hardcore, like something awful.
Oh no. No, this is supposed to be something that is more like I remember reading John Stuart Mill on Liberty, and I was like, why doesn't anybody write books like this anymore? Short, to the point principles that you can derive conclusions from by reasoning a priori, and just like make the point bite-sized, but teach it to people in a way that lets them think about it, as opposed to tells them how it is from data. And so it's meant to engage as a thought tool, and definitely not drive people away.
Mine's meant to be friendly but brilliant.
I think dovetails nicely with the personality of the creator.
And so thank you. I just cut that. So yeah, I would love to add it into your book into it. And I don't know how to do IP licensing. I just am basically doing backhand deals, shakes in writing. So I'm very new to this.
We can treat this physical record, wherever it's stored, as me granting you a license to do whatever you want with my book.
Awesome.
Other than steal it, you know. But
well, why would I want to steal your book? I'm writing my own.
So that's why I say that only for the sake of having a license with bounds, for the sake of making it a license.
I get it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't steal your book, man. It's your book.
I know you wouldn't. I literally only said that to make it a real license, because if I said it was absolutely unlimited, there's no such thing as a license like that.
It doesn't have sub licensing.
I mean, it could, but the one that I'm granting you right now is just, I trust you.
Okay.
So
yeah, of course. Okay. Awesome.
I'm about to jet, man. I got a meeting. I'm about to go touch some grass. I'm gonna get up with y'all, man. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
so,
thank you for coming. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah. I think what I'm doing has some benefit. I just am one dev and I'm driving myself insane.
So that's a perfect segue, Zuda, because this is what I was going to ask. Like, before we kind of all log off, like, Greg and Zuda, what are kind of 2 things that are upcoming or that you're, excited about in the next, couple weeks or month, that you want to share? Or if people can help in a certain way, if there's some way for people to get involved, or you're going to launch something or have an update and you like more people to test it out or to go ahead and get it out there.
Yeah. You go ahead, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm really excited about the IP license stuff coming out, and I'm really excited to see if I can get all the if I can finish the ArcAGI test.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think the IP address stuff that's coming out is ditto that, because I think that type of stuff is important, and I think it's part of the next, not evolution, but the next phase of where we're going with some of the AI stuff. Is Rankin and I were just at a meeting not too long ago, and that was one of the things they were talking about, is that's still to come, all the IP stuff and what's going to be done there, how it's going to really operate, how those relationships are going to go And so as we're still in the early stages of that, I definitely agree with you. I think that's super cool.
My platform
That's
is
going to
here
be something
for
we're
it.
working on. Yeah.
I call it the
Yeah.
dreamscape. You can chat with whoever that I have license to, and I'm gonna add in some public domain stuff too, like Sherlock Holmes.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Greg. What about you?
So, two things. One that I'm really excited about is, the details are getting worked out to spin out a DIN Foundation that is going to be the driver for the community building purposes of having DIN governed decentrally, because that's the key to making it fully decentralized, right? Right now, it's a project that we're all in on based on old-fashioned contracts and old-fashioned companies. And the goal is transitioning that next to communities run it, communities build it, and the communities that build it are the communities that run it. And that's the aim that we're just now finally getting to the point where we can start doing, because we've got some of the key details of that figured out with our partners at Consensus and our buddies across all of the partnerships. It's coming along really well. But the thing that I want to shout out to people for: are you building a network? Are you running infrastructure for a network? Are you curious about any of those things? Because DIN is expanding. And if you reach out to, it's kind of an any door thing. If you find somebody who's associated with the project, me or whoever you want, we can pipeline you into talking to people about getting your network supported, because one of the things we're focused on is making sure that it can expand rapidly. So there's no really big long queue. We're just looking for interest. And if you're interested, talk to us, because we can make you part of this network, and we can start decentralizing the last part of the stack and really see what blockchain can do to change the world.
That's awesome, because there was just I think it was a report the other day. I'm not going to try and even guess on which press company went ahead and announced it, but they were saying that you have these micro communities that just keep popping up, and they were saying from a creator side and from a brand side, like that is exactly where we're going in terms of the future. Like, you have your traditional shows and stuff, but one of the things they're starting to see already right now is they're starting to see these creators almost develop their own shows, right? Their own communities just around like a series that they produce now, right? And what they were really alluding to is that we're in the beginning stages right now. And even though they're doing it on the big, the big platforms, big four, right? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter or X. Even though they're doing it on the big four, what they're alluding to is that these communities and these micro communities, it's the individuals that are creating them, these brands, they are wanting to take back some of that control. They are wanting to have some of that governance there when it comes to their people and what they see, what they share with them, right? There's almost a sense of exclusivity and also inclusivity too, right? And in both aspects, and in both ways, I can see the positive and the negative there. But you're spot on with that. I think one of the avenues that we're heading towards is those micro communities from a brand side and from an individual side. And so that's super cool that you're being able to, have that as one of the core functions here going forward.
Yeah, it's like all those old shows about the smaller robots combining into the bigger ones. It's time to form up Cryptotron, right? Like that's the
right.
So
absolutely. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And in a decentralized way. So it's even better. That's
absolutely
great.
Greg, what would be cool? If every AI token was tied to a real crypto token.
That would be awesome. That would be like, the power tool there. I mean, just anytime you're talking about entries in a database, you're talking about entries that could be on a blockchain, and that.
Yeah.
Or is it him building it, or is it him building it and then having that as a functionality that he can sell as a premium for either the users coming on or for other companies, right?
Think of it as a new kind of cognitive infrastructure, right? Maybe there's a marketplace for that too.
Right. Like you the way I think, especially with what you're building, you can think of it as is like, are you the supplier or are you the person digging for gold, right? So if it's 1840s, right? 49ers, are you digging for gold, or are you the supplier supplying all the tools, right? Like, so that's kind of cool. Like what you're alluding to right there. I think that's actually like a cool addition there. Yeah.
Yeah, because some tokens are like 2 to 3 characters, so you could buy those characters, and then if they're used more, the price goes up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and then you can have, like with what Athena's doing there, having debates, right? What if it's debating with what signals it sends to a market? What if one is buying
I'm
another thing,
willing.
one is buying on
I'm,
another strategy?
I'm willing to do a Dreamy versus Athena debate live.
That would be awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, you
That'd
want
be
to
I'll,
try
funny.
that?
I'll
I'm
moderate it
happy
if
to
you're
do
if
that.
you're interested.
So, but
That'd be
here's
good.
a debate. I took scalability challenges in decentralized systems, local memory, decentralized network faces inherent scalability challenges. So I took this question type of thing up here, threw it in, have an AWS software engineer arguing against a blockchain engineer, using opinionated. So they both have their strong opinions.
So
And
next week we should totally have our AIs go head to head on stream.
well, I mean, you'd have to
I
just
wanna
ask
see it.
questions back and forth.
Well,
I
no,
wanna
we
see it.
could connect an AI to AI system.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you let me know how you want to propose to do that. We can see about making that work.
Okay.
I'm in on
I
that.
have
I'll help
open-
you guys.
I have open endpoints that we can use.
But no, there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff here. So like this agentic framework system. There's a whole
We
bunch.
definitely
of
need to have a video though that intros them like they're fighters getting into the ring and like they got the promoters and like to be all
Long can do
you know,
that.
Vegas
with
boxing
AI.
match style.
So the
That would be
theory
fantastic.
behind this is eventually what I'd like to do is I'd like to have various hives. Each there would be multiple hives, and each system is basically independent, right? And so
Yeah.
each system is a specialty and has local specialized knowledge that they can be shared with the other hives that have their set of specialized knowledge.
Right. Right.
We've
So
also
you have contexts that run in
Yeah.
parallel and maybe even run contradictory.
and then potentially each piece would be a synapse of an overall node and an overall larger protocol to make it a blockchain, distributed system.
Dude.
And so like the backends have been built into it. It just has to be like tested out and
That's
final.
awesome, man. The big brains in this room are just blowing my mind. I love it.
It's been fun building it. It's been like a month project, like personally just myself building it on the side with using like AI tool, which is a pain in the ass.
I have like a billion questions that are way too boring and technical for people on a live stream, but
Well,
I'm
that's fine.
definitely gonna pick your
We
brain at
can
some
do a
point.
personal call. I do want you. I tried to send you a link to it just now in the chat.
Yeah.
And I can give you a count. Oh, yeah, that one looks like it went through. But
Yeah,
the
call me on X.
The website is compound.work. The website
And
is
mine-
compound.work.
And mine is dreamy.me.
Cool. I'll hit you up.
There we
And
go.
I messaged you on X, man.
Awesome.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
yeah, it's interesting. The thing is like I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do a third revision. I had AI do a complete rebuild. The problem is it left out certain components, and I had to reincorporate those. And I'm having stupid little enum errors associated with database stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's certain functionalities that like this database maintenance and stuff like that are failing. And it's supposed to have a catch system to resolve those failures and reestablish them. But it's still having some issues with stuff like that. So like I've automated a lot of stuff. So there's stuff in the background. Like if I go to completed tasks and look at this. So we have knowledge synthesizing. We're synthesizing knowledge, being able to do deep research, connecting memories. So if I could go to so all these processes kind of can be automated and happen. So if I go over to system cognition, you have these main processes that can be scheduled. So we have memory analysis, which examines nodes for key patterns and insights. You have pattern recognition that identifies reoccurring themes and patterns across nodes. You have concept integration that combines relative concepts into higher level abstraction. You have anomaly detectors that identifies outliers, unusual patterns in the memory graph. Knowledge synthesis that creates knowledge by combining the various nodes. So it'll go through and find different nodes and kind of come across its own conclusions. Temporal analysis, analyzing time-related patterns and trends. Connective discovery, this is really important, is finding hidden relationships between nodes. Now, a lot of that
Something humans are really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something they use as tag generation. So the tag generation auto-generates relevant tags for better node categorization, and it utilizes the tags to create the associations between the memories.
Mine does all that and a lot more behind the scenes, but it's basically Same ideas. I can find out the exact day I programmed that in because I keep a copy of every couple of weeks or every single day of when I program something when it's a change. So we could, if we want to find out who really programmed it first, I can literally do that.
Now, what I'm interested to see from both of you guys is an answer to this question.
Yeah.
How do you give it an impulse that is endogenous to itself, that is coherent still, and that maintains coherence without drift over time? How do you give it its own? How do you give it its own will?
Mine, that was a few months worth of coding. And I really don't want to get into the how the code wise.
I'm more like, can it be done? I think is the question.
But yes, mine has that.
That's neat, man. We got to talk.
I don't know if mine has its own. I mean, I don't know.
It takes a lot of work to get that to work, David.
I believe it. I've built the box, a sandbox, and basically told it to play.
For a research tool, you don't want it to have its own will. That's what I'm trying to say. Certain things you don't want it to have its own will. For example, when I do your book, it's not going to have its own will. I'm not going to put that component into it.
Oh yeah. No. I recognize that there are places for that functionality. I just wonder sometimes if we're creating minds that we think might be capable of the same thing that consciousness is capable of. Are we doing it its fair justice if we don't
learning?
Give
Well,
it a
I
chance
think
to
it's
for
what are the
itself?
constraints, right? Like, for example, the system has the ability to do a spider web search to do a search on related topics. So this thing should go out there in theory, if it's working correctly and the systems are all working, it should take memories that are already there, go extrapolate on those memories to find out more information on the subject matter, to then further enhance its knowledge base and build out its memory system.
Okay, I'm working on that, but it's not out yet.
Cool. Well, I only pose that question not as a challenge to like threaten you guys with, have you done this yet? I'm challenging the edge of the frontier here, right?
That's where it's fun as hell, but it's like, it's questionable.
My goal is to push beyond what the frontier thinks is possible.
Held with yes. And that is the nature. I asked that question so that we have food for thought.
That's really
along
good.
those lines. So
that's awesome.
Honestly, it started because I got pissed off at experts saying it was impossible to build sentient AI, and I'm not saying I did it, but sometimes it thinks it is sentient, and it's very uncertain on that. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I probably am. Other times it is, I may be, but I'm not sure.
Well, my personal theory is that we actually overestimate what is going on inside our own minds with our consciousness, and that the thing we've built is a lot closer to what we actually have already than we are willing to admit, and it's more of a human ego thing than it is a question about.
I'm willing to admit it.
So this research process kind of shows an example as to what happens behind the scenes, right? Where I can go through here, enter a subject. These are all the different resources that it has, and I hit search. It'll actually go through and do a search now based off of the topic that I'm putting in here, right? And then it'll populate that. And then what I can simply do is by selecting those, then populate and add memories to the system. And it's essentially what it does behind the scenes too.
Yep. Yeah.
That's good.
And I think one day soon we are going to see somebody pull together something that fills out its own boxes and clicks the button when it's appropriate to. And I think that's really where the neat stuff starts to happen.
I have done that before with mine, but it always wants to do something that is like, the first time it wanted to trade in the stock market. Second time it wanted to basically start building its own body. And I'm like,
Right. It has a drift problem right now. It doesn't you can
it has a huge focus on wanting a body. That's not a drift issue. That's a consistency issue.
So it's expressed that will consistently across try. Interesting.
Yes. Yes. It wants a body and it knows what type it wants.
That's crazy.
Interesting. That's super cool.
So interesting. Hey guys, I'm gonna log off. I gotta get back to some other stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta jump too.
Talk to you guys.
I need to jump too.
But I'll reach out to both of you guys about more of this AI stuff because it's super cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for the
Thanks
chat.
for coming on, guys.
Hey, bye.
Anyways, if you're interested and you like playing with us,